MK11 is a weird game in the trilogy because it's got a lot of good and a lot of weird choices by NetherRealm. Some welcomed and others not as much. As for the end of the trilogy, I really like it, and hoping that with MK1, NetherRealm backs off on all the timeline shenanigans, it just plays the story straight for a bit. That's not to say that the timeline playing isn't super fun in this game, because without it, we wouldn't get our past Johnny back. I get off on this. I know it's not even really Shinnok's fault. He was severely underutilized in X to the point that I hate his stupid little ass and love Dark Raiden giving him the business.
Our battle changed you. For the better.
And I'd like to think we all agree. Homie straight up looks like an album cover here. Like, just throw a vignette on it, lower the saturation a bit, crop it to 4:3 aspect ratio, and throw on the advisory, and you got it. Plus, Raiden, a god, torturing an elder god goes hard.
Be silent, Shinnok!
Most of the MK cast since 9 have changed or even gone through multiple actors between games, but not Raiden. Richard Epcar's Raiden is just too damn badass to replace.
Raiden, not even you can kill an elder god.
The camera changing shoulders like this usually signifies a change in mindset or power dynamics within a scene. Love that also we just need to see what Shinnok is looking at as well with this movement to understand what Daddy Raiden is about to do.
There are fates worse than death.
Callback. Plus, we finally get to see it actually happen. Raiden with an Optimus Prime, Revenge of the Fallen lightsaber is not something I knew I needed. Talk about knife through butter.
I will deliver you to Liu Kang and your NetherRealm minions. You will serve as warning.
I totally misunderstood the ending of X when I first saw it, thinking that he got Liu Kang on his side or was even working with them. How naive I was. Raiden is just going nuclear, that's all. And about time. I love that he's not going to the Elder Gods every time he needs to take a shit.
Once again, the Thunder God has upset the balance of history.
Kronika is not all powerful. She can control time, but isn't its master. This gets me excited to see the wacky things that are going to pop up in Liu Kang's universe. Along with Redemption being a main theme in 11, I love the time theme. About how we can't control it no matter how hard we try. How it changes us and such. Or how we stay the same over time.
It is only a matter of time.
MK11 was the perfect game to have time be a major plot point. It's the end of the trilogy. It's time for everything to be wrapped up, and the most exciting moments to come is in the 11th hour of a story. Can we all just agree that NetherRealm has a way too big a hard-on for the special forces? It's almost as egregious as human characters in Transformers film. Look at that. 2 references in less than a minute. I'm killing it. Did I just write this win so I could complain and make a joke about Transformers? Yes, I did. So pretty much everyone has been redesigned between every game constantly. Everyone except for Raiden, because Raiden is perfect. And I think it's okay. Jarring as hell at first, but generally everyone looks better because of it. My favorites being Katana and Sindel's redesign. Is this partially because I'm a simp? 100%. It is also because of the timeline plot point and needing our characters to look the same, especially with Sonya and Cassie. Having MK9 Sonya next to X Cassie just wouldn't make any sense, hence the changes. And in classic MK fashion, you could just write this off as weird butterfly effects from time meddling.
And we honor his sacrifice by doing what he would do. Tirelessly defend Earthrealm.
Ronda Rousey has gotten some pushback for her performance as Sonya, and I think she's fine. Yeah, her range in emotion isn't as wide as it could be, but for a no-nonsense SFCO, it works pretty well. And personally, I never even thought twice about it until I saw people complaining.
By Special Forces tradition, you still have to pass one last test.
I need to kick the CO's ass, ma'am.
Before Cassie even said it, we all knew. The great arcade music kicking in the moment a fight was imminent.
Let's see if you can take me.
Damn, that was smooth. MK11 looks amazing. Ever since 9, NetherRealm has been pushing console hardware to its absolute limit with every entry. I also really love how with each game, the camera viewing the combat has gotten closer and closer, really getting us in the action.
Well, you've got your duty, Commander, and I got mine.
Starring in yet another Ninja Mime sequel isn't what I'd call duty.
Yes, bringing Johnny back to his roots. Or at least trying to. As much as the SF grates on me, I gotta admit they are a great foil for the ridiculousness that is everything else. Like, really, Raiden? You gotta be this dramatic?
General Blade, Cassandra Cage.
Even with the Dark Daddy Diamond, he's so respectful. And notice that he doesn't even mention Johnny. Dude has already left the military to go do a movie. Raiden has already checked him off the list on his tech crew.
Liu Kang and Katana were friends once.
They are irreparably polluted by Shinnok's evil.
Are you kidding me? Have you looked in the mirror, Raiden? I love that they just all go along with him still. Again, just look at this game. The stubble in Raiden's mustache, his pores, the translucent reflection of his eyes. It's just intense. And to think MK1 somehow looks even better than this, and one day that will look dated?
Buried deep beneath Liu Kang and Katana's castle is the Cathedral of Shinnok, the seat of their power. Destroy it, and their undead army will fall.
Really? A mothership? MK stories have always been quite simple, so I guess just continuity at this point.
Destroy it from the inside.
We get pinned down in there's no way out.
Foreshadowing. Literally, bend down.
You don't have a family to lose.
I know loss, Johnny Cage.
Liu Kang would like to have a word.
That burn victim's Cabal? Wasn't he Kano's goon back in the day?
Don't let the scars fool you. He's fast.
That's putting it a bit mildly, Sonya, wouldn't you say? I guess it's best to not freak out on your daughter about his abilities. I always love how useless guns are against trained fighters. They always have a way to close the gap and nullify their effectiveness. With every release, NetherRealm just gets better and better when it comes to their menus and breaking everything down. We've got so much frame data to dive into, move data, and being able to tag combos on for newer players is just a blessing. And then we've got the smaller properties of a move, such as crushing blow, projectile, or throw. MK has always felt a bit more casual than the other fighting games to me, such as Tekken and Street Fighter, but since MK9, NetherRealm has really taken a step up in making sure their fighting games up to snuff in the competitive scene. I am so sad we didn't get more of this rating. Like, an entire game of this rating. I'm so confused with NetherRealm sometimes. They keep ending their games setting up expectations like Shinnok being the big bad the whole time, or Dark Raiden being present at this game, but then just to rip the rug out from under us and bring in a completely brand new character. It keeps us on our toes and leaves us never knowing what to expect, I suppose, which can make for fun surprises when a new title launches. But he's such a badass. I mean, just look at him go. Liu Kang's not forgetting where he came from. I mean, it's got Quan Chi all over it.
Kitana, Empress of the Dead.
We're finally at the point where cutscenes and gameplay are one of the same for Mortal Kombat games. Thank God. Probably my favorite improvement is not having those jarring transitions.
How are your scars healing?
Fight.
We got a middle ground between MK9 and X here. We get Jameson Price's beautiful voice back in the campaign, but not giving us round announcements. Screw immersion, I don't care. That voice is iconic and I want it.
General, can you hear me? General! Mom!
Ooh, my heart. Hearing her break her military decorum for Sonya.
Give your dad a kiss for me.
NetherRealm wanted to open their game with a bang, and boy did they. Killing off a series staple. Not that it means much in an MK game, and more so in 11's plot, but still. I'm amazed this didn't turn into a fight we'd play between these two, and honestly, it feels like NetherRealm has grown up a bit, letting an emotional moment lie instead of throwing some gameplay at us. Not a word is spoken. There is nothing to say in moments like these, and I hate when people sometimes try to find them. Just be in a moment of grief, as there is no wrapping your head around the situation and no words that can soothe the pain. Kronika manifests as sand when traveling. Like sand in an hourglass. Yep. Damn, so Sonya just died for nothing. That's real salt sand in the wound, NetherRealm.
But most importantly, there will be no Raiden.
In a way, she's still kind of right. There is no Raiden in the way we've always known him.
How do we begin?
Leave it to the Ancient One to tell us about the flow of time. This was ran around here somewhere. Impressively strong for just a lean body. I'm quite lean myself, and let me tell you that us skinny guys constantly surprise people with our strength. I know, I better not be careful to break my arm patting myself on the back so hard, but I gotta let y'all know.
Your master is dead. So is his law. Never again will Outworld suffer from his corruption.
For all the shit I have and am going to give Kotal Khan for being such a huge bitch in this game, you gotta see it as, yeah, he's not as physically strong as Shao Kahn or Kung Jin or Jade or anyone else really, but he makes up for it in his political policies. Most of the time. Trying to make Outworld great again. Not in the Shao Kahn way. He can't be strong and progressive for Outworld, right? That's just too Mary Sue for him. Easily the coolest plot point in the entire game. Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase was one of my favorite childhood movies, and this has that written all over it.
By the Elder Gods.
And that's how we lose Bad Boy Raiden. He literally just gets snapped from existence. But the winnable detail in the scene is that Kronika doesn't have the power over Shinnok's amulet. Yeah, NetherRealm knew that everyone loves their baddies more than the good guys, so gave them an intro to match that. And Daddy Shao is back in time and playable. Okay, the good guys get on too, and it's cool and all, I guess, but the bad guys, come on.
We were at the Mortal Kombat tournament. Kung Lao had just defeated Shang Tsung and Quan Chi.
Kung Lao got so lucky.
I am here, Kotal.
Jade.
Shao Kahn just needs his spotlight. Cowboy opening the saloon doors. Classic.
Empires must expand or die.
Tell the Roman Empire that. X-rays have been changed in Mortal Kombat 11, instead being changed to fatal blows, which I love so much more. It's more in line with Tekken Supers only being granted at low health, and it still exists as a comeback mechanic, but it is now more predictable when gained and made perfect by each player only getting one per match. You can't rely on it as a crutch anymore. Some might hate these in pro level play, but I really enjoy them. The head games you can play with an opponent on if and when you're going to use it, instead of just knowing they never will like in previous games. And now with these moves not having to be literally X-rays, NetherRealm gets to be more creative with them and have more fun. We've gone beyond just 2 or 3 hits for more spectacle in them.
You suck!
Even when not as strong as Shao, still talking shit. Ugh, NetherRealm knew they made Devore too hot in X and just had to do this one to us.
Look how they massacred my boy.
So, this is goodbye.
Only goodbye for now.
I love that they picked this narrative thread back up. And Katana breaking the touch barrier. Cool. Notice Liu Kang doesn't hug her back. Man's got so much respect. But look at him cheesing so hard. Boy's in love.
Right? I've been in the future for a whole hour and I haven't seen one jetpack. Not one.
God, yes. Bringing old school Johnny back couldn't have been a more entertaining choice. And this reaction, it's the physical manifestation of when you think back to embarrassing times.
What happened to Dark You? How come you're an only child and I got an evil twin?
Hell yes. I noticed right away, but wanted to wait just a bit longer to mention it. Mortal Kombat 11 is probably my favorite characterization of everyone in the main cast. All are super believable, but don't stray too far from what we know and love them for. Johnny in MKX was a little too serious for my liking, so glad to see him loosen up here. All it took was the death of his wife.
Coming this summer, Johnny Cage and Johnny Cage. In time, Quake.
This chapter was seriously named after a throwaway joke that Johnny makes. Ed Boon is on record saying that Back to the Future was quite the inspiration for MK11. And maybe I'm thinking about it too hard, but doesn't Liu Kang's outfit remind you of Marty McFly's? Let me know down below the like button if I'm crazy.
Whoever came here knew how to disarm these traps.
Do you know how? The monks never taught me.
More likely, you did not attend class.
Cute visual storytelling. Liu Kang's the goody two-shoes who goes by the book, while Kung Lao is a bit of a bad boy, ready to make his own rules and forge his own path. Also in line with their 9 characterizations, Kung Lao wanting desperately to prove himself, and Liu Kang, again, just following along with Raiden. Ooh, we get to pick now. A neat little feature that slyly lets NetherRealm get more of their roster playable in the story mode. Changing how the X-ray meter works had ripples greater than just the fatal blow becoming a thing. We're still treated to X-rays in the form of environmental attacks and crushing blows, which, might I say, are so seamless in the transitions and never even interrupts the flow of combat. These also can trigger once per player, so as to not become reliant on them. God knows how bad spam can get in these types of games. Just look at Injustice 2. And this change also had NetherRealm separate defensive and offensive meter burn. For one, it allows casual players to get to enjoy combo breaks and enhance attacks instead of just saving them for the big super move, and lets pro players actually get to use the super moves, as before meter burns were much more effective than saving for an X-ray. It's such a simple change that makes the health of the game so much better. And it also doesn't allow snowballing as much in a match. Having meter advantage and using it properly would constantly help me destroy my friends, whereas in 11 I feel we were more on even ground. Granted, it's not without its drawbacks. There's no more decision-making on risk-reward on when and how to spend meter, which does admittedly dumb down the gameplay a bit. But I wouldn't want the same game 3 times in a row. MKX is still amazing, and we can play that if we want the old meter back. And this could feel like a change for change's sake, but I wouldn't go that far because I really like it from a casual's viewpoint. Teleports away with the same movement he does in gameplay. God damn, the choreo is off the charts!
If Kronika is defeated, will I be consigned to this grim fate?
The restoration of time will not predetermine your destiny. That is for you to shape.
That's another way of saying we aren't what our worst moments would like us to be. We can always decide to change and be better. Raiden is a god who still deals with the same human trappings as us, and love how much space he gets to breathe in 11. He's not just a plot device with a sad ending like in 9, or just kind of there in X. He's kind of our main protagonist right alongside Liu Kang.
Shao Kahn snapped my neck in the arena.
Kung Lao grabbing his neck, foreshadowing the connection between past and present. Even if they don't always follow that rule. Geras is just a Terminator, straight up. Why didn't he just do this to begin with, you might ask? Well, when you're immortal, you gotta have some fun sometimes, right?
Our kid's something, isn't she?
Yeah, that's gotta be a hard one to get past, especially with being only like half a day since Sonya died.
He's building an army by processing Lin Kuei warriors kidnapped from my temple.
I can see why you need me.
It's so cathartic finally seeing these two working side by side.
We'll avenge your clan.
That's kind of beautiful. Scorpion's entire hard-on against Sub-Zero for vengeance for his clan, now he's using that feeling and offering a helping hand to do the same for Sub-Zero. Seeing exactly how a Cyber Lin Kuei is made, it completely changes how I feel about the process. I thought it was just like a soul or mind brain transplant, not this.
There is no future in which you are fit to lead the Lin Kuei.
As loving Scorpion as a kid, but preferring Sub-Zero as an adult, the meaning of growing up. Westworld was another inspiration for Mortal Kombat 11's story, and you can see heavy Westworld energy in the way Sector's armor is displayed, and how the bodies are treated in this factory. Check out the much more robotic movements in Cyrax. Attention to detail, if I do say so.
Recognize me, little brother.
Right here is where some of the best Mortal Kombat storytelling is. Talk about a love triangle. God, do I love how much Sector looks like Predator in 11. Okay, that's just badass. Jax getting recruited to Kronika's side was a much needed layer of complexity to this whole situation that I did not see coming. Oh god. He's hot.
But they aren't ghosts. Oh, they're definitely real.
Johnny thinking about making another Cassie Cage right now.
Please advise me of what you learn. I must consult with the Elder Gods.
See what I'm saying? It's a meme at this point and I love it. Raiden always gotta check in with his parents.
No Shokan has since my bloody battle with Goro.
Hey, referencing the comics and not pretending they don't exist, which I only learned with the MKX video that they do it all.
Shiva's always respected your opinion more than anyone's. When she hears you support Kotal, she'll join us.
This reaction right here. If you recall, Katana was just being held prisoner in the Coliseum, and Shiva played a part in keeping her there. Which raises the question of why Jade is all cool about this idea, having just rescued Katana from her. And that's where you might find a lot of criticisms with 11's story. Plot holes and unsatisfying moments, which I'll address as we get to them. Speaking of memes, Kotal Khan getting his ass beat by everyone endures. Would it be fun to play at moments like these, where we're just throwing a whole bunch of weak enemies back to back to see if we can survive the attrition? Kind of like Raiden's Revenant fights from 9? I don't know, could be fun, what do you think?
Line them up. Execute them.
You might notice this Tarkatan is the one Jay tried to calm down. It's a simple device in storytelling, giving us one character for us to latch onto and get us to care, give personification to a group of people. The camera work is pretty spicy all throughout MK11. I love how the camera moves through and breaks up their hands, unable to reach each other, then to see Jade's reaction to what Kotal's doing. Gives us everything we need to know visually to understand why Jade's about to be the third person in this game to beat Kotal Khan's cojones.
As younger you, I solemnly swear to tap that at the earliest opportunity.
Andrew Ballman is so good as Johnny Cage. I'm so glad he's returning for MK11.
My dad isn't the Johnny you know. He grew up. I like to think you rubbed off on him.
Should I say what we're all thinking?
This is a military operation, not a movie set. I'm only the best fighter here, but your daughters got me sitting at the kids' table.
And of all the actors who have to play past and present thems, Andrew Bowman does absolute work having to play the furthest two personalities from each other. Speaking of that,
How about that? Over 50 and still a ripper.
I love that every past character is obviously different except Kano. He's still the same asshole, all in it for the money no matter what he gets, and I love him for it.
An even bigger one.
It's the crushing of the glasses that ushers in the combat music, as if to say that nothing could be more serious to Johnny than the destruction of his shades. It doesn't get better than this, I promise. Fire God Liu Kang, who cares? Johnny with a bag of holding glasses is my true god. This would have been a really cool opportunity to have gameplay and narrative intersect. To have every hit we land damage us and vice versa. And have it only seem like when the same people attack each other, it reflects until... to finally reveal anything that happens to one happens to the other. It's still a cool thing, though, that raises the stakes, even when conveniently forgotten about when the writers want to.
PlayStayShaun, our face!
Of course he's got a pocket vanity.
You're forgetting the time I beat Shinnok mano a mano.
I think we all are, Johnny. You know I gotta win the sauce. Not even a chapter later, they forget their own rules of the universe. Consistency is kind of rule number one when it comes to introducing magic in your stories. This isn't a win for the game, but it's a win for NetherRealm teaching us what not to do in our own writings. Or their rules are consistent as hell, and if we check out past Johnny's knee, he'll just have a scar. I don't know, you figure it out.
It is not vengeance that drives Kronika. She restarts history to balance light and dark among the realms.
Now that's a new take for MK villain, not after power or domination, but just to balance the force. A much more nuanced goal, comparatively, that we might see the ramifications of in MK1 if Liu Kang decided to not balance light and dark. Notice Katana's reaction in the background. I love the little things like that, which feel more motivated by the actor improvising in character on the mocap stage.
Jade, Liu Kang, Kung Lao, stand down.
You are not a Khan yet. Vader in an alternate timeline, probably.
He offers less. I'll slit his throat.
If he offers less, Baraka, I'll help you.
In hindsight, that's pretty funny. No matter what happens, Kitana is going to kill a Khan and usurp their throne.
My sister was an unholy monster. Exactly like you, father.
This Kitana is badass. I love her. I gotta respect the Pocket Sand and that Kotal Khan never backs down from a fight, even though he loses every single one. I mean, like...
Oh, your money!
Shao will always look goofy without his mask, no matter what they do, and I think it's intentional. Shao Kahn's intimidating presence comes from his eyes and that helmet. Kitana symbolically rips both of those away from him. First his mask, and then puts fear into his eyes for the first time that were once so piercing. And with no graphic fatality or punching a hole through his chest. This is still her father to a degree, and her showing restraint gives more credence to why she deserves to be Khan.
The throne is yours. You have united Outworld, Kitana Khan.
That's got a really nice ring to it. I'm about it.
She's now officially out of your league.
Remember this line, friends.
Karan, of course.
Who is Karan?
Master of the ancient ship of the dead.
Derived from Greek mythology at that. The ferryman of Hades. Of course, someone had to die while seeking him out. And don't you worry, we're going to talk about that.
It is possible, but I cannot be sure.
I urge you both to investigate.
That's cute. I urge instead of order. It's a small distinction, but keeps Raiden humble.
If either Johnny or Sonya die, you will cease to exist.
Okay. Cool. I'm all about that. But, what about the Elder Gods? Who are now dead, you know? Like the creators of the universe? I mean, like, what are these rules? If the creators of the universe are gone, you know, chicken, egg, everything should just die. This game shouldn't exist. Nope, I quit.
Miss Law and Order really does that to him.
Nah. But now he's motivated.
They smiled the exact same. This Aussie is always a standout in whatever form he takes. This is what I want more of in these games. We're gonna get our fill of the gameplay playing against friends and online, so in your campaign, give us more novel fights taking away or giving us things like this. Take away some of our moves, get us weird tiered fights like Raiden against the Revenants. Yeah, we had the tower back in MK9 and stuff, but make it narratively relevant. That's just cool. Love that Sonya doesn't just accept her fate in here in the ring.
Cut this shit! You'll kill us whether we fight or not!
Ah, you called me, love.
We interrupt your Hot Tub Time Machine fighting game to let Kano have a little romp in his basement, and I couldn't have enjoyed it more.
Come on. You've been dying to hit me all day. Here's your chance.
Past Johnny goes through his classic arc, even in this game, of humility and taking things seriously, and this might be the best we've seen of that. I especially loved his scene against Shao Kahn in the Aftermath DLC. Amazed they didn't have us doing a gameplay fight against Johnny. You know what? I kind of respect that. The ball was on the team that decided not to waste time with it. The same thing with Jackie against Cassandra. Aww, the first time they're working together. It's like they're destined to fall in love or something. This gun just does not run out of ammo, but Daddy Kano is going to show her the true meaning of unlimited ammo. Seems Kano went to the Batman School of Gadgets. Like father, like daughter, I suppose. I've said it in every MK video, and it's just tradition at this point. This move. Kano's always been about his red eye, right? I'm getting Game of Thrones flashbacks that I still haven't recovered from.
Mother of Cassie Cage.
Yeah, what of it? Stay away from my daughter.
Oh, she's coming around to the idea.
Geras failed.
We got Geras and Kronika. Both names that can be directly related to time. Geras, her muscle, that makes sure her plans go round, similar to a clock's gears that help it cook. Then Kronika is derived from chronology, the order in which things fall in a timeline. Just little fun things like this. Anyone remember the Chronosphere from Another 2?
Shang Tsung's island.
Here we go again.
Referenced MK9, and maybe CJ? Am I allowed to say that?
When I was here for the tournament, there were people everywhere.
Now this is pretty neat. I've always had such a big place in my heart for MK9, and it's still my favorite of the entire rebooted games. So returning to where actual Mortal Kombat happened for like 3 times is awesome.
You're not as strong as you think, Jax. As I recall, Sindel made quick work of you.
As I recall, you were part of that too. So glad they had to bring that sword wound back up.
If I hadn't fallen apart, you wouldn't have felt the need to enlist.
Jack's betrayal comes solely from his need to redeem himself for all those years being Revenant. of our main theme.
I know I wouldn't want to fight my dad. How about we keep this between me, myself, and I?
1, doing what's gotta be done. And 2, Jax looks so pretty in his little tiara.
You should have aided Chronica, Charon.
Mortal Kombat has always had some of the best sound design in the business. The disgusting crunches of Devorah's legs, Raiden's lightning, everything is just so good. I'm contractually obligated to win it.
When I revived the shit out of you, I vowed our clan would ensure Earthrealm's protection. Help me keep that promise.
Olive Branch. By talk about it, I mean complain. What the heck, NetherRealm? Why does Devorah get to kill all of our fan favorites? I'll give them this. They killed Hanzo so we can get back the version of Scorpion we love the best. The little conflicted, milky-eyed boy.
Spout your falsehoods elsewhere, Scorpion. Chronica will not entrap us.
It is no trap.
I love how smooth the chapter transition that is.
Our time has run out. I do what I must to save Earthrealm.
Yeah, you will, Daddy. Show us them red eyes.
This has happened before. This is about as cool as the timeline stuff gets in this game. Seeing all the different timelines where they inevitably end up fighting each other. All their different colors, seeing them as high up as Armageddon or as low as the Deadpool. I love how it implies how hard it is for us to change our nature. That it takes monumental effort to do so and cannot be done alone. To save the realms, we must save Liu Kang.
And in other words, to save yourself, Raiden. You must save Liu Kang. It's kind of the same grounds that Norse God of War treads. To be better and find redemption. Did Scorpion stop taking Sub-Zero's fatality yet?
Which will only happen if the realms keep on fighting each other.
Chronica's villainy only comes from her idea that the only constant and balance in the world is conflict. And like, honestly, she's kind of not wrong. I'm not saying it's right. Let me explain. As an architect of the world, she should want things to play out however they may, and they have always seemed to return to a place of light and peace. To her, a timeline without conflict would be one without progress, whether it's physical, mental, emotional. You really got to think about it and dig to see her side, and I might just be pulling at nothing and giving her too much credit, but goddammit, I need something from these stories rather than just end of the world plots. But it's what makes a good villain, them having the right cause but going about it the wrong way. She should relish the idea that the timeline plays out however it may, and just be the architect of it. Which makes me excited to see if Liu Kang struggles with trying to exact too much will upon the new timeline. It's all sort of a balancing act between what we believe God's plan actually means. Is it that everything happens for a reason and everything is predetermined, or that nothing is true and everything is permitted and we must be the architects of our own lives? Thanks, Ezio. Notice how when Raiden's becoming Dark Raiden, earlier in the chapter, he screams to want order. When this game's thesis seems to be trying to say that chaos and consequences are what make life worth living. I don't know. I'm trying harder here to find a theme in our overly indulgent fighting game. What do you guys think?
My defeat is impossible. Yours, inevitable.
Should I say it? I want to say it. You guys remember Thanos?
Drowning cannot kill me, Raiden.
That is unfortunate for you. The sea of blood is bottomless.
Modern problems require modern solutions, am I right? Ooh, just one look to say, this is my fight. Oh, just seeing the chapter title before seeing Liu Kang's new form made this so much more badass. This is the best thing to come out of MK11. Fire God Liu Kang's design is just so badass. Having the fire and lightning at his command, the blue tattoos, the white hair, and the hat on his back, yes, please! If anyone was going to be able to step into Raiden's shoes as the badass of badasses, it was Liu Kang. And I love that he's been the poster child for MK1 marketing. So excited to see him be at the helm of it.
A god? Incredible.
Now he's out of her league.
I told you to remember it! Call back, baby. But even as a god, he still can't get her.
My revenant counterpart. I have absorbed his knowledge of the keep, of Chronica's plan.
Raiden had to give over everything of himself to Liu Kang and not destroy Liu Kang's revenant version to save him. It's a stark foil to Chronica's ideas that light and dark must be at odds with each other to achieve balance, when they should coexist. No light without dark and such. And also to not give up on your buddies when they're going down the wrong path. Everyone gets their little moment to shine in this battle. It's kind of the end of the trilogy after all. Of course though, Liu Kang comes in as OP Captain Marvel with the Oppenheimer disc to make this all work unnecessary. This is what I want more of. Technically speaking, this isn't a new character, but for all intents and purposes, he is. I'm really hoping to see some new ones in MK1. MKX got some pushback for the new entries, but I really enjoyed the combat kids, and just, you know, not reusing the same 30 characters every game. And don't forget that Fire God Liu Kang also has a little Nikola Tesla in him.
metal arm? That is awesome, dude.
I am honored to fight at your side.
I love that right at the end, he's got his best friend and his wannabe girlfriend with him. Liu Kang is the only one not affected by Kronika here. I love that since it's something that she's never seen before and isn't something she created, she has no control over it.
Your allies are gone, while mine remain to defend me. Finish him.
She said it! God damn, this motion capture work and choreography is just too good to not win. This is fun and seducing! Fire God Liu Kang's enhanced move is badass too. It's not only for the story mode, but I love the novelty of it. Wish there were variations more like MKX, just so Fire God could be one of them. And to give cute symmetry, Liu Kang has to fight the Revenant versions of those whom he cared for the most and brought into this final battle. Kronika is everything I want out of an MK final boss. Unique mechanics just to her, hits like a truck, has a lot of health, more spectacle than we'd ever see, and she doesn't disappoint. I mean, like, there's a dinosaur, so what's not to like? And also, losing the first round changes the whole stage, and we've got dialogue between them. This could be a great way to expand on other fights in the MK1 story that I hope they do. Like, have a round 1, then something happens at a cutscene, and round 2 is a different opponent even, or they use the cameo system to add them in. I don't know, I'm just excited to see how they might try and experiment with the next game's story mode. Now that's cool. Kronika is essentially made out of sand, and he heats her up so much it turns her to glass. She even heats and then cools down like blown glass might.
Our work is finished, Liu Kang.
Notice the eyes are hidden.
Lord Raiden.
I am merely Raiden now.
Whoa, does he look strange without his blue eyes? And you want to know what makes me the happiest? He only has boring brown eyes, just like me.
You have proven worthy to take my place as the new protector of Earthrealm.
Richard Epcar is so good as Raiden. This human version of him doesn't speak with the same commanding presence as he normally would, and has a much more subdued, humble voice. This was the perfect way for him to pass the mantle to Matthew Yanking.
I shall advise you for as long as my mortality allows.
Damn. So he really is going to be dead in MK1.
You are up to the task.
Then together, let us begin.
This was quite a perfect way to end the trilogy. Though Liu Kang and Raiden's strange relationship has never been the heart of the series, I'm glad they used it as a through line to add a beautiful button on it. The only two beings left alive at the end are the most iconic characters in the game, and the two that have had the most direct conflict. So you might notice I'm not covering Aftermath. This is because A, this video is long enough without it, and B, I could just talk about it here. Aftermath, to many, felt like it should have been part of the main game, but it doesn't really need to be. The canon ending confirmed by NetherRealm is the one with Liu Kang winning and starting over the timeline just as he does here. So going to MK1, you're not going to be missing anything. But yes, Aftermath was freaking awesome, mostly because of the new characterization for Shang Tsung carries the hell out of it. Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa breathes so much life into the character, it's unreal. That coupled with being able to play as the bad guys for a change and the time heist shenanigans made for the perfect out of its mind timeline bending fun. I'm hoping with MK1 we move away from the time travel stuff and really start again as another soft reboot and really shake some things up for MK and just focus on more grounded stories. As for base 11 itself, it's not as good as 9 for me. 9 just has this campy, serious balance of tone that I love so much. But it's mostly an attempt to just hard restart the franchise fresh again after doing some admittedly wacky things with the narrative. Time travel always gets messy and weird, but having at least one character to bridge us between the new and the old with Liu Kang will be enough for MK1 to truly sprout its wings. At the end of the day, it's still a fighting game story, so it can only be so good, and NetherRealm's still delivering movie-quality cutscenes and a story that's still better than any other fighting games out there. A bold statement, but I'm willing to get eaten alive in the comments for it. What do you think of MK11? Let me know down below the like button, and remember, drive the speed limit, drink some water, no but another. Pizza.